and welcome to the Game Fanatics podcast. My name is Ben, and today I'm joined by Jeff
Hello.
and Henry.
Hello.
And today we are having a sad news day.
Sad
Womp.
Womp womp, because poor little Nintendo
Oh, so poor.
becoming... Yeah, they're quickly losing all of their money. They slashed their forecast, which were admittedly kind of... I don't know if that was crazy to expect to sell 9 million.
I never saw it coming.
I mean, okay, so it was 9 million units of the Wii U.
Mhm.
They readjusted it to 2.8, which is a lower number,
Yeah.
quite a bit lower.
Math.
Less than yeah.
Yeah,
It's like less than a third of their original projection.
exactly, and it's not even like it's a high number in the first place. Like we just had the news last week or so that both the PS4 and the Xbox One have had like 3-4 million.
Yeah, they're selling just fine.
Yeah,
Like spectacularly even.
yeah, they're selling really well, a lot better than I thought. The Wii U,
Not so much.
not quite happening. And I've been trying to figure out what exactly could sell the Wii U.
Games.
But is it games?
I think so, because from my perspective, being a non
A loser. Oh.
Shut up.
By the
Yeah,
way,
for
Henry,
being a non-loser.
you would really like Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would love it.
Alright, I'll give it a shot.
I'm telling you. There was some levels I was like, this reminds me of Little Big Planet. And I know how much you like Little Big Planet.
Yeah, I do.
So.
But so my perspective from a non-Nintendo gamer is that having not played all of the games, it just seems like the same games are being played or being made over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine in the cases of like Mario Kart, because I love Mario Kart, and like Smash Bros. That's a system seller. But when you're trying to entice people that aren't already part of that community, like throwing out new Mario games and stuff like that aren't going to bring in new customers, because it just looks like the same game over and over and over again. And that's what I feel like the problem is, that they're relying on these same characters and IPs to sell the consoles when it's obviously not working. And the other half of that is that you look at the PlayStation and the Xbox, their third-party support is, that's half the console.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo, it isn't. So when you're buying a Wii, and in this economy where most people can't buy more than one console, let alone one, to splurge and get a Wii for their few exclusives, it's not worth it, because they don't get these other games that you get with like the PlayStation and Xbox.
True.
So that's like, if I had the money to just throw around, I would buy a Wii just for a couple of games a year. But that's not the case, so I'm not going to buy one. I'm going to buy a console that can play the exclusives and the other games, which the Wii cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
That's my little spiel.
It's the perfect second console.
Yeah, it is, but you have to have the money to buy a second console, and that's where the economy isn't helping out Nintendo in that case.
It's interesting that you say second console, Henry. Like the Wii U isn't on the level as the PS4 or the Xbox One, whether it be the processing power or the lack of games. There's something about the Wii U where just it seems less. What am I looking for here, guys? Help me out.
Substantial.
It's just less.
Yeah.
It's definitely less of like a main console, of like a home console of the priority when it comes to consoles. It's kind of just sitting in the wing in case you want to play these couple games.
Yeah, and they've been that way since the 64, or I guess the GameCube, really.
But the GameCube had awesome games.
Yeah, it had awesome games that were most of those games were exclusives.
Yeah. And they like I love the GameCube. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely love the GameCube. It's my favorite non-Sony console of all time.
Sure.
And but there's just no magic that the GameCube had that's also carried over to the Wii and the Wii U. And I don't know why.
I wonder if it's nostalgia though, in part because I remember because I was a GameCube kid. It was all I had. I didn't have a PlayStation till the PS3. I didn't have an Xbox till the 360. Obviously, because original Xbox is terrible.
Right.
But I remember like every game or every month for the GameCube, I would buy one game, and that was really all that was coming out that was worth it. And
Right.
some months there was nothing. So
Yeah.
they still have that drought now, and maybe it's that we're older and we can't really wait. It's like, why would I wait? I know all this other stuff, and I have a PS3 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. The thing about the GameCube that I loved was they really took grasp of multiplayer. Like Nintendo's like they're always good with multiplayer, like whether it be the N64 or the GameCube or even the Wii. Like they know how it is. But at that time in my life, you're like hanging out with friends after school. You'll play Smash Brothers and stuff. But now you can just hop online and have hangouts with anyone. And so like that it made the GameCube work. And what? Oh, and games like even like Agent Under Fire and stuff like that. Like it was different playing on the GameCube because they had it made like a sense of community. I feel, at least in my case, and the Wii does not cultivate that for me at all.
They still do stuff like that. They still have a strong local multiplayer focus.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is like that's not what games are about anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And like as much as they do it well, that's not the seller anymore. It's about multiplayer. It's about HD graphics. It's about having a library that entices everyone. It's about being able to bring in third-party studios and have them make their games for you. And the Nintendo just does not do that.
I don't even think they could at this point.
Which
I don't think they could entice third party. Like at the Wii alienated a lot of third party because of the controller, because it ended up being just a shovelware station.
right.
And now they have the Wii U that's not on the same console cycle. It's not as powerful as the other console cycles, so why bother? So if they release a new console, it's going to come out before the next cycle, and it's going to also be off kilter.
Yeah. Yeah, the releasing at a different time definitely helped the Wii. Because it wasn't that it was competing like graphically and everything, it's that it was different.
Mm-hmm.
And so people gave it a shot. And then people liked it because it had, like Wii Sports and everything. But not even to get into like the casual market and how like they screw themselves in that area.
Yeah.
But Jesus, stop texting me. But they're
Is that Nintendo on the phone with you?
I know. Henry, stop talking bad about me.
Shit, I totally just lost my train of thought. What did I just say?
You're talking about they messed themselves up with the casual market.
Yeah, what did I say right before that?
I think you said you didn't want to talk about that.
God damn it. I had a really good point.
All right,
too.
well,
Okay.
Nintendo texted you, so.
Yeah. This is me faking forgetting what I'm saying. I just have to be hushed now.
the Nintendo thought police got to you. But for me, I wonder if Nintendo took the wrong lessons from the Wii about what made it successful. Because what made it successful was the accessibility both to developers and to gamers, and completely new gamers, people who had never touched a controller before. As we saw, all those videos and pictures of like grandmas playing Wii Sports and loving the bowling game, right?
Yeah, bowling leagues in the old homes.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it just looking at the Wii U, you think that they thought that the Wii's formula was less powerful, gimmicky controller. Yeah.
Yeah, like Nintendo definitely has a knack for throwing out the gimmicks and seeing if they work. And half the time they don't. A lot of times when they do, they really work, like the 3DS and
Like the
stuff like that.
DS, the
Yeah, like
original
the DS
especially.
originally. And but this was just a
It's a misstep.
like okay, the Wii itself was a great idea for what it was at the time for the people that they were selling it to, which was obviously the casual market.
Mm-hmm.
But to keep going with that, you're not going to hold them because they're casual. They're not going to keep buying this console every couple of years because they already have their Wii. They already have what they want to play on it, blah, blah, blah. And then your more hardcore market is going to be like, well, it's underpowered. It's not what I wanted to play in the first place. So I'm not going to buy it. So they kind of put themselves between these two hard spots.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Yeah, you can look at the 3DS. They took more. They took more of the lessons that they should have from the success of the DS. It still has the accessibility. You know, the touchscreen is really intuitive, and that was brilliant for the DS. And they just built on what worked for the DS, and they have a successful handheld. What they did with the Wii U is they just tried to emulate what made the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 successful, but they kept doing the Nintendo thing, and that those two don't work together. Like what they should have done is take what worked for the Wii, the accessibility, the motion controls, and then build on that in their very unique, interesting ways that they're capable of.
Yeah.
I really want to know, like, in an alternate universe, how the Wii U would have sold if they just packaged the Game Pro controllers.
The Pro controller?
Yeah. Like, how much better would have sold?
No, I think it'd be more interesting. There's two more interesting alternate universes. One where the Wii U is equally as powerful as the PS4 and Xbox One. That'd be
Right.
an interesting alternate universe, and also the one where it released in like 2011.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they definitely would have sold a lot more if it came out before, like, substantially before these.
Before it was even announced that there was a PS4, they would have had the Wii U
Yeah.
out.
And then people would have been like, oh, this is awesome, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the case. But I'm a strong believer that the controller itself is alienating. Because, I mean, it does for me. Like, that's half the reason why I don't want to get a Wii U.
I do like the controller, though.
I've played around with the gamepad, and it's nice. It's, it's remote play. It's basically a big Vita. But,
kind of, yeah.
And it works well, but it's not the experience that I want. I just want a controller in my hand playing the games that I like. That, I'm not forced to only pick from a handful of games rather than having the entire gaming catalog that exists, at my fingertips. A good online community, blah, blah, blah. But these are just things that Nintendo are not doing well right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I swear to God, if they just re-released the GameCube with upgraded, specs, they would sell so much.
Here's another GameCube. We're remaking every game we made on the GameCube.
They would make so much money.
I'd buy that.
Guarantee it.
Yeah. Everything. It's just the GameCube HD with every game HD. It's like a subscription, and it sends you new games every month. It's the HD GameCube games.
I would buy it.
I would be all over that. Oh yeah, totally. So what would it take you to buy a Wii U then?
A better game catalog. As much as people crucify me for saying that, like, that's exactly what it is for me and a lot of other gamers. Like, they don't want to keep playing like, you look at the Wii U right now, and like the best game on it is literally an HD re-release of an old game. What does that say about the console?
No, it says more that Wind Waker is like one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah, but there aren't any games competing with it.
Pikmin 3 is really good, and the new Mario is really good.
But shit like that isn't gonna sell me on it because it's the same thing that I've played before.
But okay, here's the problem with that. With you saying that, Henry, is you haven't played. What was the last Mario game you even played?
Galaxy.
Okay, so that was the last one I played before Mario 3D World. Like, you're saying that like there's a new Mario game every year, but you don't play all of them, so you playing any of them is going to be new.
Okay, my perception with it is the same as like Call of Duty. It's just going to be the same thing over and over and again.
But Call of Duty's still
but the thing is that I don't have anything to tell me that it isn't the same game over and over and over again.
There's cat suits.
Yeah, I've just never really been a huge Nintendo gamer. Like whatever it is, the vibe of their games hasn't always grabbed me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm more a mature gamer.
I'm so sophisticated.
Yes, yes.
I like Metal Gear where the guy poops in a barrel. No,
There you go.
uh,
Maturity.
it's not maturity.
Rated M for
It's
mature.
Nintendo with the Wii U. Nintendo, has been playing it safe with putting out Mario games and the Wind Waker remake.
The ironic thing is that's what people have been asking for years from Nintendo, and then they do it, and it's like, well, you still need to do more.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They
you can't.
do. I mean,
Yeah,
they do.
they do. But I mean,
And,
that's also another thing, like the maturity. Like, uh, Xbox and PlayStation have grown up with their community, and Nintendo is still doing the same things that they've done since the '80s. It
Yeah.
just looks better. And if they had like games that grew up alongside the games that are staying the same forever, that would be fine, so long as I have my pick.
They need some new franchises that are geared to a newer audience.
They do. And the mature Zelda game that they were teasing but never gave totally would have
I don't
helped.
want an M-rated Zelda. If you want an M-rated Zelda, play Dark Souls. Done.
Dark Souls, like, skinned with Zelda.
I would never stop playing the game.
Exactly.
I would
So
just quit my job.
why can't they just make it? Why can't they make it?
I would love that. We have to stop. I gotta go pass out right now. Too much excitement.
Too much blood just drained from your head.
Yeah, it's too much.
If you know what I'm saying.
I feel faint. Seriously,
But
or
yeah,
actually Demon Souls, but whatever.
but if they just like did something, it doesn't even have to be like a new IP. If they did something like Metroid or something like geared to
Well,
a
that's
more
what the
audience and
GameCube
stuff.
was amazing for that you brought up earlier. It did have Metroid Prime. It had new Star Fox. It had a new F-Zero. Like, it had
Yeah,
all
and that
these
stuff was
franchises.
great.
Yeah, and then
then
with
they just kind of stopped doing that.
like when was the last time there was a new Star Fox game? Oh, it was on the GameCube.
Yeah.
10 years ago. Like, oh, okay.
wasn't there one on the DS in 2006? But
Oh,
no,
that does
one
not
didn't.
Yeah,
count.
well, we're talking
We're talking
big
console
boy
games.
games.
Big
Okay.
boy games for adults. And
But
yeah, and right now they're like you're right. They're really relying on Mario. They're really relying on Zelda, and they're really relying on Donkey Kong. Strangely, I don't understand.
yeah, which is definitely not a system
They
seller.
have all these other franchises that they really aren't utilizing as much as they should.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sadly.
It's kind of sad, and that's all I can say about sad Nintendo.
Yeah, they're not looking at the trend of gaming with gamers. They're just kind of doing their own thing and hoping that people buy it.
I think their own thing is fine if they make like a $200 or $150 console and it just plays Nintendo games. But like what they're doing, trying to be the console, they can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
It just
I
doesn't
can see
look like it.
Yeah,
that too.
like when I look at the Wii U, like it's not that I see kiddie games, that I just don't see a broad diversity of different types of flavors of games, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
they
another thing.
tried, and when they
Mhm.
put the Wii U out, there was there was a great variety. There was Arkham City, there was Mass Effect, and they had the Mario alongside that. Like you had
Yeah.
a wider palette of. The problem is the more diverse games out there. I've already played those.
Yeah, and that's why it's a perfect second console, because I can only play the Nintendo games on there, so I play for the Nintendo games and then I put it back away. Like it works
Yeah,
perfect for that.
back to its home underneath the stairs.
Wow. Yeah, and look what happened to Harry Potter. He did pretty good.
Yeah, well, Nintendo's already had their time.
This is like post Hogwarts,
Yeah.
and they're just dried up. Poor Nintendo. All right. Well, you can tell us what you think about Nintendo in the comments below. You can also email us your questions and comments. I don't care what you email me. Well, I do, but the address is podcast at thegamefanatics.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. Henry's on Twitter.
At the Holloway.
Jeff's on Twitter.
At TGF_J Smith.
I'm on Twitter. Shut up, Henry. I'm on Twitter at TGF_KirbyLink. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video.
Yep.
And check out the site for more up-to-date news. And we'll see you some other time. I was going to say mañana, but it's not.
You're not cultured enough to say that.
I don't know how to say whenever. I don't know how to say whenever in Spanish.
Whenever.
Whenever. See you whenever.
Bye.